Hyundai recently launched the N-Line series in India with the i20, and today here we are in the beautiful city of Udaipur driving this car. Now keep in mind, this is not the fully blown N range, but it's the N-Line. But that doesn't mean that it's just a cosmetic job. The changes in the N-Line run deeper than cosmetics, and there are a fairly significant number of mechanical changes as well. So what is the difference in terms of driving experience? Is it really sportier as Hyundai claims or not? That's exactly what we'll find out over the next few minutes. In terms of design, the N-Line i20 looks a little more sportier and a little more energetic compared to the standard i20. If you talk about the changes, well, up front you've got this grille which has got this checkered layout to it, and it gives it a bit more sportiness. Of course, there's also this N-Line badging here, and you've got this very nice sporty looking red insert in the bumper. On the side also, you've got these red inserts, you've got a different design of alloy wheels, and at the back also you've got a sportier bumper and a very good looking twin exhaust pipe layout. So all of these changes give the N-Line i20 a much more sportier design than the standard version, and of course it is evident, so you don't really need a keen eye to spot the N-Line from the standard i20. In a nutshell, looks better, looks sportier. Now before we go ahead and discuss the pricing and the interior and more importantly the performance of this car, if you like this video, please share it and hit that subscribe button, and also press that little bell icon so you can stay connected to all forthcoming Express Drives videos. Now once you step inside the cabin of the i20 N-Line, the changes, just like the exterior, are subtle yet evident, and that lets you know that this car is a little bit more sportier than the standard i20. There are these red accents that run across the cabin and just add a bit more to the dynamism of the car. Of course, you also have a blacked out dashboard, which is exactly what you would want from a car that reeks of sportiness. There's this different steering wheel which has got the N-Line badging, looks a bit more sporty, and you've got the N-Line badging on the seats as well. The seats also get this red piping and stitching. So all of this adds to the sportiness of the cabin and lets you know that this is a bit more than your standard i20. In terms of space, nothing changes. It's still the same as the standard i20, so you get the same amount of space, and that means it is still a comfortable place to be in. Good amount of leg room, knee room and headroom in the rear. The seat itself is quite nice. It's a well cushioned seat, and in terms of features too, it's a well loaded car. It's a fully connected car. It's got a good touchscreen interface. The user interface is good. You've got sunroof inside the car, and sunroof is standard in the N-Line. So that is something I'm sure a lot of Indian buyers will be happy about. And since it's a fully connected car, you definitely get the benefits of it. You can do a lot using your smartphone. You can also do that fancy remote start stop. But more importantly, there is a lot of safety and convenience that you get with complete connectivity. So now with the interior and exterior out of the way, let's get to the meat of the conversation, and that's the performance. Now, like I said earlier, the changes are not cosmetic, there are some mechanical changes as well. So what are those? Well, first of all, no changes to the powertrain, remains the same. But the suspension has now been tuned and it has been stiffened. So the damping rate has gone up by about 30%, and that means you get lesser body roll and better control through corners at high speed. The brakes too have been upgraded, and you get discs all around. The braking performance as a result of that has improved, and that is evident the moment you start driving this car and you push it. The brakes have really done their job well. The steering too has again improved. The torque has been uprated, as a result of which now you get a much more weighted steering, and that is something that the i20 missed out on earlier. It was not at all an engaging steering. This one feels a little better, but as for feedback, still there is pretty much none of it. But yes, it just feels a little better, and it feels a little more engaging. The exhaust too has been improved. and as a result of that, it's now a little louder, a little peppier. My only grouse with the exhaust though is that from the moment you start the car, it is evident that it's a louder exhaust, and that's a good thing. Even when you're driving, it's quite audible. But once you cross about 4000 rpm, that's when the exhaust just fades out. Beyond that, the exhaust somehow cannot deliver the kind of oral expectations you have. But again, that is something only you will experience if you're pushing the car really hard. If you look at it in a nutshell, the i20 N-Line is a fast car. It is a quick car. With the same 1 liter turbocharged engine, you get the 120 PS and 172 Newton meters of torque. You get a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, or the IMT, to choose from in terms of transmission. And as a result of that, both these cars, both the versions, are pretty quick. And now with the changes that I just spoke about, it has become a much more fun, and more importantly, it is now a much more engaging car to drive, and that is precisely what the i20 was missing. But the i20 N-Line now brings that back. So that brings us to the most important bit, and that's the pricing. Now if you look at the pricing, and that's something that you will be seeing at your screen right now, the i20 N-Line across its range has been priced quite competitively. And even if you look at the top variant, the difference between the normal i20 and the N-Line is just about 50,000 rupees. And for the incremental price that you're paying, you get quite an amount of kit. You get a better looking body on the outside, you get a good set of changes inside the cabin as well, but more importantly, you get a car that has been mechanically tuned to be more fun and more engaging. And for the amount that you're paying, I think the N-Line offers very good value for money for someone who's looking for an all-round car, a car that is functional, that is good even for family purpose, but at the same time also is sporty.